And we are back. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Yeah, man. I'm beginning to see there's going to be a pattern here. I'm beginning to realize, like, there's a certain way I'm going to be opening this podcasts every other week, saying, yeah, man, and what's going on. Yeah, but cool, man. I'd just like to, before even like getting into it, because yeah, the week has been crazy, man. It started off with some tragedies, man. So I just like to spend some time on that, man. Chime in as a fellow human, you know. Guys, man, we have to we need to, we are better than this, you know what I mean? We are far better than this. Like, we should not be, we can't allow ourselves to be overcome by, I don't know, like, I'm even like trying to, like, as I'm speaking, I'm trying to, like, there's that inner voice asking me, like, who the fuck is putting you in this position, you know? Like, and what makes you think you're not even a fucking authority? Who the fuck is going to listen to you? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just speaking as a human, man. Like, my heart goes out to, like, you know, all the people whose lives have been affected by the tragedy that happened in Manchester. And even more so, like, you know, the tragedies that continue happening, you know, across the globe. You know, it's funny, I saw like I don't know, it was a lecture or something where some scientists were saying, like, historians were looking at today in like the 21st century in comparison to, like, all the other times humans have existed, you know. I mean, from the beginning of, like, basically not the Homo sapien, I guess, the human being in its current form, or the human beings in their current form. Like, we've never lived in a safer time, at a more prosperous time. I think I'm going to, you know, like, sorry, let me do this. I'm going to go into the kitchen and get, like, a sieve to put in between me and the microphone. I tried putting one of my housemates, I don't know, headband type thing over the microphone to try and reduce the popping, but it's clearly fucking there. And I think it's getting in the way of what I'm trying to say. So yeah, just give me a fucking moment. I'll be back right now. Peace. Right, let's try that again. Loud and clear as well. Signal looking all fat and everything. Okay, so yeah, man. Okay, let me try and sound wise. But yeah, it's like there's a, I don't know if it's Einstein who said it, or one of these great thinkers or leaders over time past. One of them said that insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting different results. So, I mean, on one side you have people who have a very firm conviction in what they believe in as the truth, and parallel to that you have people on the other side with that same conviction that what they believe in is the truth. For someone like me who's just essentially we are all affected, but like in this case I haven't been directly affected by what's going on, but I'm just there like looking at a distance. It strikes me that I don't think there's such a thing as like we are fluid. Human beings are far more complex than we give ourselves credit. And I think we need to start appreciating these nuances, like even in our belief systems, like human beings, we are not just black and white, excuse the pun, I don't know if there's a pun there, but yeah, it's like we are layered, it's, you can't just look at something as you can't look at something then try and, but I guess it's understandable, you look at a situation and you try using your own perspective that has been it's basically a total of reference points, in your own personal life, and in terms of like your own intellectual or emotional or physical pursuits, that have informed your opinion on how things are and how things should be, based on how things were. But I guess like in terms of that, we try and like as human beings, we're always trying to understand things, but I think we understand things from or understand people or understand cultures foreign to our own in a way that's already colored, you know what I mean? It's like it's definitely not how the other people look at their own culture, because us we're already looking at it based on our own experiences and based on our own reference points. And now as a result, like in our efforts, maybe at some point, we just tried to like simplify that shit, because getting to know someone, I mean, if you've been in a personal relationship with someone, not necessarily either boyfriend or girlfriend, but even like your brother or sister or whatever, you realize like you can be with this dude for like years and years and there's still things you're only beginning to find out about them. But then on a macro level, we're here trying to like figure people out from a very simple, using very simple viewpoints and, simplified perspectives. And then standard, you're basically just setting yourself up for like disappointment or setting yourself up to be surprised, on the next turn. I don't know, I was talking with a housemate today, it's like, especially how like, it's crazy how like tensions are high, especially when in the beginning of the year, like was it the beginning of the year or towards the end of last year when all that Brexit stuff happened, and then the elections in the States or whatever, then you have people, especially the media with their sensationalism, just trying to like push this narrative that there's an impending war. I don't think so, but that's maybe because I just see, I tend to lean towards the positive, but I doubt there's going to be a war, but now I just can't wait to see like how the same media houses are going to spin this story, like just to increase the tension. And this is all based on like simplistic, things that, either as a society, for one reason or the other, you decided to hold as the truth. And now anything that opposes the truth is like the enemy, So now I'm here, like I'm speaking with my housemate, and how like there's that saying, like to the person with the hammer, like every problem, seems to be a nail, So now, given the fact that we're over here, we are trying to like, we have already been fed the story of like terror, even terror in itself being very simplistic, like you're trying to localize terror, like it's only a certain group of people, only a certain part of the world can originate this kind of terror, that already like oversimplifies the whole thing, whereas the dictionary definition of terror is not localized to any part of like, an atlas, or any part of the fucking map, So you have the fuck was I going with this, man? You have people like trying to like simplify, then you simplify it in a way that, okay, so that's what this is, then this must be the solution, So now obviously the choices that have been put forward, like tension, like war, whatever, tighter immigration things, I don't know, measures. And I don't know what happens in those corridors of power, I don't know what they know that we don't, that all of a sudden like many parts of the world are tightening up and stuff like that, and I respect that I don't know. So that's why I'm not fucking speaking like an expert. Because I am not an expert. I'm just another dude, man, who is like, I'm affected by this shit. I'm not going to fucking act like myself as a human isn't moved by what the fuck is going on, I just feel moral of the fucking story is we are better than this. Like, whatever problems we see in the world, we are the originators of that problem, of those problems. And I think we need to fucking wake the fuck up and realize that we can solve those problems, We can fucking solve those problems, like the problems are never going to be bigger than us. And if you're going to look for a simple way, such a simple way, like, and true, sometimes the solution is very simple. But when it comes to like, just, you take ours, we take yours, without really looking for the root cause, and also like at the back of your mind just trying to figure out like whether there's a better way. I think the best thing, you always have to look for the root cause, and take into account like psychology, like here you're talking with people who you're talking, I don't know for sure, but just as a case study, as an example, you're talking about people who, let's say like a kid from Syria, like being born right now. Imagine like some of them grew up in places they don't even know like whether they have like a building, like I don't know, like there's no fully constructed building, everything is just bombs, bombed down or something. Probably most of these guys have members of their family who have been killed by like some type of insurgents, if it's not a bomb that's been dropped from, sent in from the west or the east, then it's, insurgency is just there in that country, So to them, they don't even realize like they have options. Like, let's fucking talk this shit out, let's talk it out. These guys just know fucking violence, And I think it's up to the rest of the world to show them like they have options, like, this is another way these things can be looked at. And I don't know, I'm not sure whether locking people out is and not allowing them access to these options, and not necessarily them having to come here or or move to anywhere, like, but just like allowing them, like if you have a hand in terms of like if you have a hand in like in the current situation that their homelands are in, like I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this, but yeah, man, like we are better than this. We have to start demanding more of ourselves, Like, man, those were just kids, man, listening to what a fucking concert, You don't know how much potential you've just gotten rid of there. Same thing with the perpetrator, Like, maybe now someone there's a mom who is like, or a dad or a brother who is like, wasn't this guy supposed to come home? Or, it just goes both ways, man. It's just... But it's almost just like feeding like a narrative that, a narrative is just that, a narrative, it can be fucking changed, Now things are going to go like all this fucking warfare, that's going to happen, And especially I've been watching some fucking crazy shit on YouTube of like people, all this advanced technology, man, and advanced weaponry, man. Like, how the fuck is this shit going to pan out, I was talking to a friend of mine and she was like, it's like there's this technology where it's like almost like There's fucking GPS in bullets now. They have found a way of putting GPS in fucking bullets now, you know. Fucking thing can turn corners. You know, I used to watch Wanted. Like, I think I'm the only one in the world who like watches that movie like thrice, you know. Angelina Jolie and that Last King of Scotland dude was like, these guys were bending bullets around corners, you know. But that was their sheer will, you know. Fucking technology, man. How do you GPS a fucking bullet, you know? Fuck's sake, you know. Like, I know that's like, you've already lost that one, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm just here with my spear trying to like fling it at you, dipping my finger inside my mouth, then sticking it in the air, like trying to get the direction of the wind so that the momentum doesn't get, you know, aerodynamics. While in real sense, fucking motorbikes behind me, don't mind that. But yeah, like some dude somewhere presses a button, you know, types in a postcode, you know. Fucking bullet is so sophisticated, like, what the hell? Like, fucking has GPS, like, does it stop at a red light? Like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, all this potential, like the brain, like the brain power to come up with that shit. Just imagine if it would have been used for something constructive, you know. Instead, but like I said, I don't know. I don't know what happens up there, you know. It's just a fucking podcast. It's a chance for me to like just make my noise. But yeah, man, a bit of a rant. Yeah, man, but yeah, and we'll you know, it's been a crazy week as well, you know, like Nikki Hayden, also like the Kentucky kid, for those of us who watch, like, who follow bike sports, you know, like MotoGP, you know, Nikki Hayden, beloved like rider from Kentucky, man, lost his life in a cycling accident. Yeah, man, RIP, man. Also just learning Roger Moore chipped as well. The Saint, man. 2017 carries on in earnest. But yeah, man, light at the end of the fucking tunnel. Guys, let's reconvene. Oh, what a word. Let's reconvene after the fucking break, guys. Writing your will on a sheet of paper. The peace of mind that you get when it's time for you to meet your maker. Bare, your soul left exposed, but in the grand scheme it fits into the ebb and flow. So we try to stay strong and ride the wave, chasing time while it flies away, till it reaches the point you stand in silence gazing at shifting horizons more than 1,000,000 miles away. Even the little rays of light will fade, then no one has the time of day. The indifference when no one gives a fuck in the slightest way. Then I realize that I'm the same when I find myself disregarding everything they try and say. Like this isn't the time and place, so we stare each other down from either side of the island, paint reality according to us while we smile and wave. I'm knocked down to a state. I underestimated what I had on my plate. Made the choice and took a leap instead of counting sheep. Woke up to see I made another mistake. Shattered and bruised, I'm running out of options to choose. Losing breath with every punch that I take. Found myself losing control, and others found it to use me as a pawn just for argument's sake. Cold shaking in, visible walls caving in. I thought I had thick skin, when in real sense the armor that I had on was paper thin. Got in so I could play to win, but from this end it seems as though the whole fucking game is rigged. Another pointless fight makes me wonder what side of the coin is right. I would rather jump to my conclusion and enjoy the flight. And it's a poignant night. Rain and the bright lights make a glorious sight. But the pain has my vision impaired. No reaching out to people, have no reason to care. But how many people have I cried with? So many stories to identify with. Makes me wonder if the tables turned and I was the one making the choice. Would I cause a paradigm shift? Or would I shut the doors behind me, forgetting their humanity defines me? Would I be the sun giving them life, while at the same time choking the life out of a dying tree? Fighting rain and drying streams, in the grand scheme who am I these? It is said when two elephants fight the grass suffers. I wonder what role would I play in the Last Supper? Who am I? In the grand scheme, who am I? I am the radiance of my soul beaming with light. I found death while searching for the meaning of life. I am the ballot box, each side is casting a vote. Vast oceans with human beings fighting to float. I am the god, I am the migrant, ship and the sail. Voice of joy and despair, the raft and the boat. Tough choices made for the sake of one's own. Same choices securing one's place on the throne. Talks on the round table, stool and the chair. I am the movement in the market, the bull and the bear. Policies decided on while having drinks among friends. I am the dotted line signature, ink and the pen. The tens of billions made, siphoned through tax avoidance schemes, sent back repackaged as aid. I am supply and demand, the everlasting desire to grow and expand. I am the lessons taught by hindsight when we pause and reflect. I am the action and reaction, the cause and effect. I am the narrative that labeled us foolish and helpless, even though history shows us that we are truly relentless. The difference in division, product of the sum. I am the period bygone and the time that has come. I am the balancing act between the yin and the yang. I am the new song when all that we could sing has been sung. Yesterday, I am today, and I most definitely fucking will be tomorrow. Bear. 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 Alas, we are fucking back, man. Okay, chill. I hope that fucking latency doesn't... Let me just take down. Yeah. Clearly I'm not as good with Pro Tools as I thought I was, you know. I got a fucking certification, man. Damn it. How can I forget the fucking basics, man? Okay, yeah, so... Yeah, we're back, man. Episode fucking 2. I'm trying to remember that channel. There's a channel on YouTube that I also follow, where all these great minds like meet up and like interview each other in black and white. Maybe someone can help me. But yeah, Tim Ferriss was being interviewed in one, and he was talking about his podcast, and he said like, well, you know, most people like they stop on the third one. So I was already thinking of stopping after the first one. But yeah, it's like I'm kind of enjoying this, man. I'm enjoying the. It's so fucking self-therapeutic, man. It's so fucking self-therapeutic. But yeah, also like I said, I'm using it to showcase my skills that I've amassed over the fucking years. Just trying to see how I can integrate them or use them like in combination to try and make myself kind of indispensable in the 21st century and beyond. Or maybe this can be a fucking model for future work at homers, you know, in a way we can still employ it or start businesses and like in due time, obviously, not at the moment, but yeah, when opportunities begin to open themselves up and suddenly your little grind or your little hustle becomes scalable to the point that you can actually hire people. But even in the interim, you can still be paying your taxes and building the fucking nation and the fucking world GDP as well, you know. World GDP, what am I talking about, man? I just saw one World Economic Forum and now I think like, I think I know shit about how the world works. Fucking hell. I saw like a 30-minute, was it a 30-minute or a 1 hour animation by Ray Dalio about how the world works or how the economy works. And then now suddenly now I'm like, you know, going to fucking cocktail parties and like talking to veteran traders and like, you know what, like this is how I think everything is cyclic, you know, everything self-regulates. What the fuck do I know, man? And more importantly, what the fuck am I on about right now? But yeah, like, yeah, sure, fuck, I'm shocked, man. You know, I'm still here, man. Look at me once again being the millennial that I am. Yo, fuck, you know, I'm still here. Yo, I'm still here. It's been a long, hard road, man. It's just fucking episode 2 of the podcast, man. What is wrong with us, man? You know what I think? You know, like speaking to, maybe not just millennials, but I think everyone who lives in the 21st century right now, things are coming at you fast, man. I think one quality we have forgotten that maybe the people in this world who probably still possess it, like by the fucking boatloads, are guys who do farming, like guys who understand time, and delaying gratification. Everything happens in the fullness of time. Me, I'm here thinking like, fuck, you should see me right now, like I'm all stood up. I have one leg on the stool looking like Captain Morgan, like this is a fucking triumph. And yet, it isn't. Well, it's kind of like, I think, we should just learn to manage our expectations. Yo, but really, what the fuck am I on about, I was speaking with another of my housemates, Wilkie May. Wilkie May was like, so now we're all like, I was stressed. I was like, so, I gave myself a commitment. I'm supposed to be doing this shit like once a week. And he was like, I have an idea, like how we can add value. That's the term, we are adding fucking value, like, and increase your content, like in your fucking podcast, just give me more mileage, over time, so I can be able to fucking cross this episode 3 threshold, Fingers crossed, man. And next week is also going to be a busy one because I'm actually preparing, I fucking successfully finished my BA course. So now I'm planning to head home. So there's a lot of logistical issues around taking, especially this gear that I'm using to record back to Nairobi. And I've been listening to too much Bill Burr, man. Like I'm even beginning to speak like all these funny things, these Bostonian intonations he does. Episode 3. So like Wilkie was like, this episode 2 though. So Wilkie was like, what? He played me like this perfect example. So there's this lady called Catherine Carr. I think she works for BBC, and she has this like segment where she just works with her voice recorder called, I think what the segment is called is Where Are You Going, And she's like traveled all over the fucking world. That's the advantage of being British, man. Your passport, man. Some stunts can't be pulled by Kenyans, man. I promise you, man. It's just like I can imagine I'm going to like let's say the Swedish embassy in Nairobi, and I'm like, so like what are your purposes for going to Sweden? They don't even talk like that. What the fuck is wrong with me? And I'm like, as I'm just carrying this fucking recorder, I just want to like engage in philosophical conversations with the good people of Sweden, asking them where the fuck they're going, metaphorically and actually like literally. Whether it's to the shops or where they're just going in life. How quickly I'll be told to turn around, man. There's probably going to be like a blacklist of like some guys who should not even be allowed in the fucking premises, Oh no, I'm just trying to communicate, get in touch with the rest of the world. Yeah, so like another example, like we were here. I'm losing my train of thought. But I'll get back to it though. So guest lectures at this school that I went to, so you have one dude who was like, basically, I respect him in the sense that he's an artist of, independent, doing his own thing, So he has like a GoFundMe type thing where he goes around the world, I think with a guitar or something, I think basking. I don't know, something like that, basking, or I can't even remember. This was like in the beginning of 2015, and like you'd get guys to like give him cash to like like either do a song or an album. He's probably very successful right now. I should have followed him, but I fucking stormed out because I was still fresh. That's what they call us, like Africans in this part of the world. If you're an African, you're likely who has just landed in London, you're likely to be called a freshie, So I was literally fresh, so like, so I was like, man, I was kind of stressed. I was still settling, culture shocks and everything. It was fucking cold as well, Then this dude is like, I just travel around the fucking, that's typical hippie, hipster type, persona, I just travel the world, just connecting with people on a human level, and I just, just walk around, and sing for people, and like some, I can't remember. I don't want to distort his story, or like, how do I say, like shit on it, because it's actually a worthy thing, In fact, the main reason I stormed out was because of just that, It's just like Man, I was like, imagine, imagine me going to the fucking US embassy, fucking flip-flops as fucking straw hat in Gigiri there in Nairobi, and I'm there like, just hugging everyone, hugging the security guard, as I walk in. They're like, yeah, what are your purposes for going to the States? I'm like, I just want to connect to the fucking world, me and my ukulele over here, Get the fuck out of here, That's if the guys at the embassy are New Yorkers, man. So, Catherine Carr, fucking beautiful. Like, she just walks around with this voice recorder thing and asks people, and they have some very fucking candid conversations, Man, like, I don't want to like use her content to like on my content. I don't know if there's some copyright. I don't know none of that shit, But yeah, so Wilkie was like, I have a recorder. I actually used the recorder to record one of my EPs, the low files, Plug. It's called the low files because it basically the vocals sound like shite, but my I was basically supposed to make it sound as good as possible using the whatever resources that I had, at that particular moment. So and I was just thinking, like, imagine me walking to like, and these are now some of my insecurities, This is good for me, This is some of my insecurities as an African dude living in the. Hopefully, some of you can relate as well, and maybe even like some of our British friends, like, who live elsewhere in the world. Obviously, your situation might be different, or not necessarily British friends, but our Western friends who live like back home, like in the continent. Your experiences might be different, but I'm sure you can relate on some fucking level, especially if anyone who's been transplanted from their homeland for one reason or the other to another one, And so I was just imagining like me like walking up to strangers, and my fucking insecurities and this fucking brain of mine, that works overtime to like sabotage any fucking progress that I might any chance of progress that slows everything down because of all these fucking fears. I just pictured like in my head like me walking towards let's say, let me try and see like the perfect contrast to what I am. Let's say like a middle-aged Caucasian, like just that's nice middle-aged probably friendly lady, who, let's say, lives in the western part of London, Then I'm just here in my in this fatigue army green jacket of mine, and I'm walking towards her, like pointing the recorder towards her. I just imagine like how is she processing that, right now, and as soon as I let her word out and she realizes that I'm not like like I don't have an English accent, I wonder like, does that compound it? Does that like compound the if there's fear, like does it compound, like does it like force her to like further give her more, like does it like justify her not hostility, but like does she like wall up and like clamp up or whatever, and just be like, fuck out of here, get out of my face, there I go, like, because that's how middle-aged English women sound, fuck out of my face, but I was picturing in my head like how I sound like to them, like, woman, come here, I just want to record you, God damn, But yeah, at some point I intend to do this, because I have like a few days before I head back to Nairobi. So I'm thinking I might pull that stunt. I might even pull that stunt this week, or not, because I might not fucking go through with it, Plus it'll be episode 3, the dreaded episode 3, the one that separates the chaff from the diamonds. Man, I'm going to be the full millennial after that fucking 3rd episode, I'm going to be the full millennial. There's going to be a speech. There's going to be something on Instagram, like, oh man, we made it. We made it 3 episodes. I was looking at Bill Burr. Bill Burr's been doing this shit for like 3 fucking years. The guy has a stand-up routine. Like the podcast isn't even his primary grind. But he makes sure he does it like every fucking man. But yeah. It's still a fucking achievement. It's an achievement that I'm recording this shit now. I know I'm not going to fucking downplay it, man. God damn it. Yeah, man. How many trains of thought have I just lost? Jesus Christ. Should I sign off? Maybe I should sign off. I think I've spoken enough, you know. And yeah, so definitely, fingers crossed. Something happens and I won't be able to do the dreaded episode 3. But yeah, I know I intend to fucking do it. But yeah, peace and love to everyone. And like I said, we are bigger than, and we also have to stop looking at ourselves as victims, because the moment you look at yourself as a victim, whatever solution you try to formulate in your head, it'll be as that of a victim. Look at yourself as someone who is coming up with the solutions, wholesome solutions. I think that's the best strategy going forward. We are going to have to flip the script. We are going to have to a different way of thinking needs to be, someone needs to come up with a different, not someone, I can't put that pressure on one person, we all need to collectively question. And not just these typical questions of question everything it's a fucking conspiracy theory. But, just question your innermost beliefs, your belief system, why the fuck when I look at this person, why does it trigger this emotion, I think that's really important, man. Because we are bigger than this. I'm in love with humanity, man. I'm in love with just what we are capable of. And actually even the good and the bad, because the bad, that gives you proper contrast of what we can actually achieve when we decide to put our minds to something productive, I almost believe one needs the other, yin yang, everything is cyclic, and yeah, once again, man, thoughts go out to our brothers and sisters in Manchester. Thoughts go out to our brothers and sisters everywhere, man, everywhere, all the places that the media houses never get time for one reason or the other, or the other to report on. There's a lot of crazy shit happening in the world, but if it's true what the scientists said, like I said earlier in the episode, that we are living in the best times ever so far, then maybe the media, I don't know, maybe start showing positive shit as well, start showing positive shit, because people think bad stories sell. I don't think so. If you look at all the viral stuff that happens on the internet, it's all the stuff that stuff that makes people laugh for the most part, So that whole notion of bad news sells more than good news. And that's why probably media houses are going to fucking start losing money. Just as a business model. Like I said, new way of thinking, I think it's fucking important, to just show the positive shit that happens around the world, man. There's a lot of positive shit that's happening, Your boy here making a podcast is one of them, I also have I guess everyone has a fucking story, but I also have a story, maybe in time I'll be able to share with you motherfuckers, But yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening, just man, it's a beautiful world out there, And yeah, man, that's it, man. I guess, even when the air is cold, even when the nights are dark, let's fucking dance, man. And see you guys on episode 3. Or not see you guys, but you guys hear me on episode 3. And yeah, did you just hear me breathing in? That whistle. Someone needs to shave their nasal hair. But yeah. Peace, man. From the almighty motherfucking Javset. Oh, man. I have to stop impersonating Bill Burr, man. But that's my guy. Yeah, but peace from the fucking Javset, and on to the next one. See you motherfuckers. I mean, same time. Yeah, not same time, but next week. Most def. Peace. Peace.